How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here, and in this video, we're going to be talking about and breaking down the top stocks and ETFs that I'm watching and looking to trade as we're getting into the middle of May here in 2020. And like I do every single Sunday here on the channel, I want to break down what the stock market futures are looking like when it comes to the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, and I want to take a look at the S&P 500, what the market has done over these past couple of days, what the trend is looking like, so maybe we can forecast what could happen here in the short term when it comes down to the market. So if you guys enjoy the video, as always, hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, and feel free to also join our Strive Smart Discord chat and Facebook group, link down below in the description box. Those are 100% free of charge to join. So without further ado, let's start off here with the S&P 500, which over the past couple of days of trading on the 5-day, 5-minute here, which pretty much shows the last week of trading, the S&P 500 has moved from $2,800 all the way up to $2,930, making a move of, get this guys, almost 4.5%. And if you guys recall, in April, the S&P 500 had one of its best months. No, it actually had the best month since 1987. It was up about 12.5% from my memory. And we can see that based off this chart, guys. You can see we ran up to about, 2,900. What was it in the month of April? We ran up to about 2,940 here. We pulled back down, and this is where last week started after the pull down, right? We pulled down, we tested 2,800, we held a higher low, which is very good for the bulls, right? That means the uptrend is intact on top of that 50 SMA here, and we actually broke above the 180 SMA and 2,900, which I've been raving about on this channel as a huge support on the S&P 500. So now that we broke all of those levels, we're also seeing the start of a bullish cross, rather, where the 50 SMA is crossing above the 180 SMA. Now that we're seeing all of this, I can see the S&P continue moving up, right? Especially if we break 2950, which again, towards the end of April, that is where we peaked out at. So if we break 2950, I'm thinking the S&P 500 could easily fill the next gap, which in this case is going to put it to $3,000 yet again. Who would have thought, guys, a couple of weeks ago, the markets were going to go from $2,200 all the way back up to $3,000 in the snap of a finger? But it makes sense, right? All of the stimulus, all of the money printing, all of the buying of bonds, junk bonds, corporate bonds now. All of this stuff is pushing up the markets, the optimism, the economy is going to open up, everything's going to be great again. That is, at the end of the day, what is pushing up this market. And when it comes down to the futures here, guys, let's take a look at the ES, which is the E-mini S&P futures. They're not doing much right now. They're actually down $3.25 at the time I'm filming this, down about 0.11%. But if you guys take a look, when the futures market opened about an hour ago, they actually gapped down pretty aggressively, right? Which makes sense because on Friday, again, the markets were up a lot. The markets were up about 1.5 to 2%, right? So the fact that we gapped down a bit, it doesn't really bother me because you guys can see we gapped down from 29.33 down to about 29.17, opening up about half a percentage point there on the futures. But take a look where we held, guys. This is critical. The futures market, the ES mini futures here, they held 29.15, which if you guys can see here on the daily chart, this has been a old resistance, or rather, it was an old resistance, right? From a couple, from Friday. And once we broke that level, it became a support. So the fact that we're holding it as a support and we're actually filling the gap, right now in the futures market, the gap that we actually just opened, that is a really good sign for the bulls, right? And for tomorrow morning, I would love to just keep an eye on where are we moving, right, in this market, in the futures market. Are we moving up towards 29.30 and maybe even higher? If we are, that could indicate a very bullish open, in the markets tomorrow. And like we know, guys, a lot of the time, the futures market does flip-flop overnight, so we can't really rely on it too much, but it is a tool that I like to look at, I like to use when it comes to, determining what to trade for that upcoming week, right? So the ES mini futures, that's what they're looking like right now. They're trying to fill that gap that just opened up about an hour ago. When it comes down to the NASDAQ, guys, down about 5 points here, down not much at all, down just 0.06%. And you guys can see the NASDAQ has been crushing it, right? It's been absolutely crushing it. It's holding 9,000, which is great. And just like the S&P, you guys can see we gapped down to about 9,180, or rather 9,200, right around there. And overall, we are holding the uptrend on the futures here on the daily chart. So that is very, very good for the bulls, right? So what I'm seeing now, the futures, they're trying to turn green, right? Look at this thing. The NASDAQ is currently ripping as I'm talking, right? So I wouldn't be surprised by the time I'm done filming this video if the futures market is green, right? And when it comes down to the Dow, it's down about, look at that, or actually, yeah, look, the NASDAQ's about to turn green now. But when it comes to the Dow, it's down 6 points, down 0.02%, just like the S&P, the NASDAQ. It gapped down. Now it's filling the entire gap that just opened up about an hour ago. So very bullish futures movement here, and from my opinion and my thoughts based off of these technicals that I am seeing here. I'd love to know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the markets? Where are we going here in the short term? In my opinion, guys, again, I think we're moving up. I think the S&P has a chance, even this week, to maybe hit $3,000. And let's break down very quickly some economic numbers we got on Friday. I talked about them on Friday's video, but I figured, why not? Let me just mention them again here. So we got some non-farm payroll numbers from April, which totaled to 20.5, or rather they showed 20.5 million jobs were lost due to the CV in April, which is incredible. 7.6 million roughly of those jobs were in the leisure and the hospitality industry, which is insane. And these industries are obviously, like the restaurants, hotels, etc., which we all know at this point were hit the hardest. And the unemployment rate as of right now is about 14.7%. So take that for what you guys think. And again, I'd love to know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts there? But that just goes to show how much devastation that this CV has caused many people out there in the world at this point, right? Since it is a global issue. So let's just get into now the stocks, the ETFs that I'm watching for this upcoming week. Starting off here with good old Tesla, guys. And Tesla has been great. And speaking of Tesla, I advise you guys to, if you're into Tesla, you guys invest in the stock, whatever, you like the story, go take a look at the Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk. I'm sure many of you guys already know it, but the first podcast Elon Musk was on, you know what he did? He puff past a little bit. The stock ended up crashing, but this time around, he didn't do anything crazy, but still, I think it's worth listening to if you guys have some time. I think it's about 2 hours. Definitely go listen to that. If you're a Tesla fan, an Elon Musk fan, I listened to it. It was a great podcast, but either way, enough, promoting Joe Rogan's podcast. Let's talk about Tesla. On Friday, it was up $40, up 5.05%. And you guys notice we broke a very critical level of resistance at about $790 to about $800 per share here on Tesla. And I mentioned, guys, we were consolidating for about 3-4 days on the stock, and I said this is tuning up either to rally like crazy or it's setting up for a dump, right? And the fact that we popped up pre-market Friday and we saw that massive jump at the market open, that's telling me that obviously the bulls are taking charge here. So you guys can notice we filled the entire gap on Tesla from about $800 all the way up to about $825. So at this point, am I rushing to get into a position? No, but I'm looking to see if we're able to break $825 to $830 tomorrow, guys. This stock could easily, in my opinion, make a rally back up to the mid 800s, maybe even to the 900s, guys, as it did a couple of days ago. Almost hit 900. It got to about $885 per share. So Tesla, I'm just waiting to see, guys, if it pops. I think it will, and from there, I think it's going to get very, very bullish. And another stock that I've made a lot of money on over these past couple of days, guys, is Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. And you guys know I've been trading in and out of it. I have I have call options on Virgin Galactic that expire in 2021. So needless to say, I'm bullish right now on the stock. And the reason is because the technicals back the bullishness, right? We've broken above $18.80, $19, which a couple of days ago was a huge level of resistance, right? I said in the videos last week, guys, I literally said this, if we break $19, we're going to fill the gap to $21. We did that. I made a lot of money on the move, and now I'm saying if we break $21, I can see the stock going even higher. How high can it go, guys? Well, based on these levels, we can see last time it broke this level at $21, and mind you, it's such a strong resistance, guys. We got rejected there once, twice, 3, 4, and now 5 times. This is the 5th time we're struggling, but the last time we did break 21, the stock went all the way to 42. Am I saying it's going to double again? It could. It very well could. It's that kind of stock, but no, I'm not saying it's going to double again. I'm looking to get a move, let's say, to maybe $24. $25 is another big resistance here for SPCE, right? So in the short term, if we break 21, we might go to 25. Right, that's the next level that I'm seeing here on the stock. Will that happen in a week, 2 weeks? No one really knows. For all we know, it could take a month to slowly creep up to $25. But all I know is that these technicals are screaming bullish, and once we get that break, there's going to be opportunity, and I'm willing to wait with cash on the sidelines for that opportunity. And again, I already do have money where my mouth is, as I do have options contracts for this stock, call options contracts, that is. So that's kind of some thoughts there on SPCE. The next stock I'm watching for this week is PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. They reported earnings last week, if you guys didn't see and didn't pay attention, and they pretty much opened up a record number of accounts. They opened up, I believe, at one point they were opening up 250,000 new accounts per day in the month of April, which is incredible. So many people are using PayPal and their services, and the stock was up one day last week, 14%. That is incredible, right? So at this point, am I forcing a trade here? Absolutely not, actually, guys. Absolutely not. But I'm looking to see if it cools off, because if it cools off, we get back down to, let's say, 130, maybe 135. We start consolidating a bit on this 50 SMA on the 2-hour chart. Maybe on the 4-hour chart, you guys can see there could be some potential. Maybe at $129, $130 we get to. If we do see a sizable pull down, maybe not a $20 pull down, but anything like $10, $15, I might consider building a position here in PayPal, because again, the technicals are just extremely bullish. Their earnings report before last week they just reported was extremely bullish in my eyes. So PayPal, definitely worth watching. Same thing with Square. They just reported earnings. They broke above $70 here. They broke above $75. Now, although it is a bit overbought, if we end up holding $75, guys, who knows? We could end up filling the gap up to $78. So for this week, I'm looking to see, if we hold 75, we might fill up to 78, and that could be a move of about 4%. And another stock that just reported earnings is Shopify. And this is another one that's almost at all-time highs. It actually just hit all-time highs at $742. And just like PayPal, I would love to see a pull down on Shopify. Notice how on the 4-hour chart, the 50 SMA, this green line here, has been a support over the past couple of weeks. Well, if it pulls down, let's say 660, we hold that level, we show some consolidation there. This could be a great entry point, guys, either for a swing trade, maybe even a day trade, as we have seen Shopify be very volatile in the past. So just open your eyes up to Shopify. Keep an eye on that potential drop. I for sure am, and I might end up hopping in on that, to be honest, guys. And another stock here I'm looking at is MA, which is also called MasterCard, guys, one of the big payment processors out there alongside of Visa. And take a look at where they're at right now. They're at about $282 per share, which is a pretty strong level of resistance right now on the stock from a couple weeks ago, couple days ago, back in the beginning of March. So needless to say, if we do get some volume, we do get that pop tomorrow in MasterCard, you guys can see we actually held 282 on Friday as a support, which is a good sign. We might actually get a push to 288. We actually ran up there back towards the end of April, so I'm thinking 282 to 288, that's not too crazy of a move. That could even happen in one day. That is very possible for MasterCard, and that's kind of what I'm looking for here at this point in time. And an ETN combo I've been watching, haven't really traded recently, but either way I'm watching it, is UGAS and DGAS, and they trade based upon natural gas. And at this point we're looking at, I believe, the June contract here, which is /NG, what is it, M20, I think it is the June contract, M20. Let's take a look at this. So this is what natural gas is trading on right now, what UGAS and DGAS are trading on right now, and you guys can see that natural gas has seen quite the sell-off, down from $2.15 down to about, that's crazy, $1.83. It's cut about 30 cents here, which is incredible. So overall, guys, we're getting to oversold status, in my opinion, when it comes to natural gas. And take a look at this pattern that we've seen. It's pretty textbook, right? We rallied up, higher high, we pulled down, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high here. Now we're pulling down. Could this be another higher low? We're going to have to wait and see this upcoming week, guys. If we see some support, any signs of support here for natural gas on this trend line that I just drew, and we start to push up like this into the 190s, heck, even into the $2 level, this is going to be huge for UGAS, right? UGAS goes up 3 times whatever natural gas is going up, right? So let's say natural gas moves up 3%. UGAS is going to be up that day about 9 to 10%, right? And you can see here on the 20-day chart for UGAS, we're approaching $21, which we've almost doubled the last 2 times that we've hit that level. So needless to say, a lot of potential here this upcoming week, in my opinion, for UGAS and the natural gas bull ETFs out there. And when it comes down to gold here, guys, it's not doing much, down about $4 right now, down about 0.25%. You guys know I'm bullish on GDX, looking to actually re-enter that this upcoming week. GLD is another ETF that you can trade if you're bullish on gold. It pretty much just tracks the price of gold. And when it comes to crude oil, guys, crude oil at this point in time is down about 1%, down about 21 cents when it comes to the June contract. And a tanker stock I'm watching is NAT. This is Nordic American Tankers. And notice how we're right at a support level on the 4-hour chart at the 180 SMA. And we're also at a previous high at about $4.70 to $5. So this could also hold as a support. This is a critical level in my eyes, guys. So moving into this week, if NAT is not able to hold for $85, just speaking from a strict technical perspective, there could be a lot more downside. But then again, on the flip side, this could be who knows, a 2xer, a 3xer from here if we are able to hold for $85 and start to make our way back up to the mid $5, $6, $7, etc. So overall, guys, that is really it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, found value in it, let me know down below in the comment section. Also, let me know down there what stocks you're watching, what's on your watch list, what stocks you're trading, and your thoughts in general on the market. I would love to know. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, do that, and feel free to claim 2 free stocks from Webull if you want free money, valued up to $1,400 if you deposit $100 into the account. That is linked down below in the description box. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll catch you all in the next video. Good luck out there in the markets today, or tomorrow rather. Stay safe out there as always. And yeah, peace out, guys.